Hello, welcome to episode 69 of Your Ultimate Comeback. It's just me today. Raquel is up in Cal Poly watching her daughter play beach volleyball, and we're coming to you from a new studio. So we found a new place. We're testing out a couple different looks. I went with the very masculine one to start since it's just me, but we'll be seeing a few of these till we finally choose the exact one that we want. But today, since it's just me, I kind of want to talk about not a new supplement, a supplement that's been around for a long time. I've been getting a lot of questions about. I've been using it for probably the last 30 years. But for some reason, it's kind of been on this tear and everyone's hearing about it and asking about it. It is a supplement called creatine. And so I want to dive into a little bit about what creatine is, what it does, how it works. And to start with, it is the most researched supplement on the market, meaning they've done the most studies on it, and they're all show that it is safe and effective. So it's the one supplement that I'm really, really comfortable with. I don't feel there's any risk with it. There's been a lot of false narratives throughout the years about damaging things that it does, or those have all been proven to be negative through studies. So it's a very safe supplement. And it does a number of things. First off, it helps replenish it's called the ATP-CP system, the ATP creatine phosphate system. And this is involved in things like sprinting, weightlifting, jumping, explosive types of movements. So this supplies extra energy to that specific system, and it'll help performance in those specific realms. So if you're an athletic person that it performs in explosive sports like basketball, baseball, football, pickleball, things like that, creatine phosphate will help you perform better in those sports. I like it with my clientele because it specifically helps with weightlifting, meaning that it helps you increase your strength. And what I've noticed when people are using it, they're stronger and they can do more reps with heavier loads as they've been using it for a while. What creatine phosphate does is it fills the muscle cell with water. It's called cell volumization. So the muscle cells are filled with more water. That's what allows it to function better and more optimally. But some people struggle with the idea of this scenario causing a little bit of weight gain while you're on it. It's not going to make you look puffy. I hear a lot of women ask me that, oh, it's going to make me look puffy, I'm not going to take it. No, it's not filling up underneath the skin. It's filling up the muscle cell. The muscle is a little bit more full. And that's how it enhances the muscle, but it's a good thing. So people are like, oh, I'm not going to take it. It's going to put weight on me. It's one of those things where, okay, yes, it's going to cause your weight to go up a few pounds. With women that I work with, usually it's 2 to 3. Guys, it can be more like 5 to 7. But it's good weight, meaning it's extra weight that your body's performing at a higher level, even though you're 2 pounds heavier on the scale. It's not negative weight. It's not making you fat. It's not causing water retention. It's causing cell volumization. So there's a benefit to it. That's the only negative drawback is some people really struggle with this whole weight gain thing. But as soon as you stop it, the weight gain goes away. So there's really no negative to it. Outside of that, if you're really worried about that. But I believe the benefits of it dramatically outweigh the negatives of it, that one negative of the weight gain. So how much should you take? For the longest time, there's been all kinds of different theories on how much you should take. For the longest time, it was take 5 grams a day. At one point in time, there was an idea of a loading phase for the first week. You're taking 5 grams multiple times a day to kind of load up, and then you maintain after that at 5 grams a day. Both ways, I've tried both ways. At the end of 30 days, you're kind of in the same place. If you load it ahead of time, you're going to get the weight gain a little faster, the full cell volumization a little faster. But lately, I've been kind of finding more and more research coming out showing that it's size dependent. So if you're a bigger person, you need more than if you're a smaller person. And I actually found a gentleman, Dr. Antonio. He actually gave a really nice recommendation that I liked, that made it equivocal to your size. So his recommendation is to take 0.1 gram per kilogram of body weight. Now, how you find the kilograms is you just take your body weight, times it by 2.2. You take that number and times it by 0.1. So like for myself, it comes out to 8 grams a day. So if you want to be real specific and have it be specific to your body weight, which I personally really like that's how you would figure that out to find out how much you should be taking per day. This is even safe for children. I've come across lots of studies that show in adolescents, it's beneficial to adolescents, and it's safe for them as well. So I recently just had my 10-year-old son start to take some. Again, it's dose dependent on his body weight, so he's obviously taking a lot less than I am. It's also really good for cognition. The brain responds really, really well to creatine. It helps improve things like memory, recall, speed of thought, like all kinds of positive benefits come from it. But the one time I really, really like the benefits that creatine provides is when you're sleep deprived. What they have shown that if you are sleep deprived and you take one serving of creatine, your brain actually performs better from that. So you have muscular benefit, performance benefit, and you also have cognition benefit. So these are all reasons why I think people should be taking creatine. I'm comfortable with anybody I work with trying to take it. Like I said, I take it. I have my son playing around with it. And again, load dependent scenarios. So I'm a really big fan of creatine. Another one that's been coming up recently that I'll cover in this episode is, what should I be taking while I'm working out? And my favorite scenario with that is amino acids. Now, there's two variations. There's the essential amino acid and the branched chain amino acid. Branched chain amino acids are 4 amino acids that are very responsible in supporting your muscles. And so if you're lifting heavy weights and you're sore all the time, taking BCAAs while you train is a really good tool from that. Some people that don't get really sore when they train, we'll just have them use essential amino acids. So that is all the essential amino acids that your body cannot make on its own that it actually needs to bring in. And what an amino acid is what protein breaks down into that the body then can use to do what it needs to do. So I'm a really big fan of using amino acids while you train to help support the training environment, meaning that your body will handle the training better. It tends to balance out the cortisol to testosterone ratios in a more favorable scenario, so you'll get better results that way. It helps feed the muscle while you're training, and it just allows you to go harder longer. So typically my clients will either take one or the other. They'll take 1 scoop of an essential amino acid or 1 scoop of a branched chain amino acid. I like the powdered form you can just sip on in water. Every once in a while when someone's lifting hard and they're dealing with a lot of soreness, I'll actually have them do both, an essential amino acid scoop and a BCAA amino acid scoop in the water to really support the muscle, to support recovery, and to keep the cortisol to testosterone ratios in a more favorable state. So it's a really nice tool. If you're like me, I also like to fuel energy as well while I train. So I will throw in 1 scoop of Carbolyn, Karbolyn. It's a nice carbohydrate-based powder. I believe it's cornstarch-based, so it doesn't give a big insulin spike, but it really helps drive energy while you train. So you have the mix of the Carbolyn and the amino acids, and it just helps your body handle the training environment better. And then some people also like to add things like LMNT to their water while they're training as well. These are things that help with electrolyte balance. They're micronutrients. Sorry, not micronutrients, electrolytes. They're just electrolytes. I personally like to use LMNT every day, first thing in the morning in my first big bottle of water. So I'll pour a big bottle of water in the morning. I'll put all my electrolytes in before I have any coffee or caffeine. And that's when I really enjoy using my electrolytes. I find it gives me better energy. I'm less likely to have a headache. My brain performs better. I have more energy, less likely to deal with muscle cramping during the day. It's a really nice tool. So that's how I personally do it. But if you want to throw it in with what you're drinking while you train, another great tool to use as well. When you're lifting weights, you're really challenging the metabolism, you're challenging the body. So to have that support to help you in those workouts, it's a really, really beneficial tool. So I'm a real big fan of people using creatine every day. Oh, and best time to take creatine is typically right after your workout. So if it's a day you're training, you want to take your creatine right after you train. If it's a day you're not training, just any time of the day is good. I'm not going to lie to you. I do it first thing in the morning every day. I don't do it after I train. What I've just found is if you just get it in every day, that's the ultimate tool. You want to consume creatine every single day. So I put a scoop in with my LMNT, and that's how I personally drink it. There might be a little added benefit having it post-workout, but I just know myself and I get busy and I will forget to throw it into my post-workout shake. So I know if I do it first thing every morning, I'll make sure I get it in daily and stay on top of it. And to me, that's the most important thing. So if you want to get really specific, post-workout is one of the most beneficial times to take it. But as long as you're getting in every day, you're going to win. And if you want to support your workouts with good stuff, it's the either essential amino acid or the branched chain amino acid. It's one of those is really ideal. And if you want to throw in some Carbolyn, that helps as well. And if you want to throw in a little LMNT because you don't like doing it first thing in the morning, that would be good as well. If you're somebody doing a lot of like high intensity training and you're sweating a lot during the workout, I would really recommend adding the LMNT while you're training. If you train our style of training where it's more weightlifting oriented, you're not going to sweat as much. So that's why I don't feel like you need the extra LMNT in a style like that when you're lifting weights, taking rest in between sets. And actually, next podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of things like rest periods and stuff like that. Like a lot of questions come in around our training. It looks boring. Everyone's moving slow. There's a reason for that. Oh, everyone's sitting around taking breaks. The rest periods. There's a reason for that. But again, you're not going to sweat as much in that style of a workout. So like I said, I like my LMNT first thing in the morning. I don't feel like I need extra LMNT while I train because I train like we train our members in a state where I'm not really sweating a ton while I train. Okay? So if you've never tried creatine or amino acids, try it. Test it out for 30 days. See how much different you feel. I notice better energy, better focus. If I'm sleep deprived, I still get through my days well. With my amino acids, I'm not as sore on my training days compared to the days when I train without it. I recover better. I have better energy for the rest of the day after my workouts when I'm using that as well. So that's another positive benefit. So 2 great tools, creatine, and then a nice little blend of supplements you can use while you train to get more out of your training. This was a little short, quick, but I just really wanted to tap on those 2 things as really beneficial tools you can use to enhance your overall life. Okay? And next week, when we jump back on this, we're going to talk a lot about training, one of my favorite topics. Hope you have a great rest of the week. See you next week.